What's up, guys? Welcome back to Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. I am Daniel and we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to be having a look at the best Premier League signings of the 2020s. Before we do get into the video, I need to ask you all to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and also comment down below. Also go over and follow TikTok and Instagram, Daniel Talks Football on both. I do also need to quickly give a massive thank you to Tifo Football. I saw that they did the worst signings of the 2020s. They may also have done the best signings of the 2020s, I don't know. But I took inspiration from that. Thank you for the idea, guys. Absolute inspiration, a great channel, so go over and check that out if you do not already know of their content. I'm sure you do. But yeah, we're here to have a look at some of the best signings in the Premier League of the 2020s, and we'll get started with one that was right at the start. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes joined Manchester United in January 2020 for 65 million from Sporting Lisbon. 44 goals and 32 assists for the Red Devils in that time. He's now their captain and only 28 years of age as well. I think some people think he's a little bit older. He is actually still a decent age. I think this has been a really, really good signing. It's definitely one of the best 20 signings in the last 3 years, I think it's fair to say, of the Premier League era. He's definitely a very good player and he's well deserved for his placing in this list. Next up, we have Jarrod Bowen, who is again another transfer that happened in the January of 2020. This is quite an obvious one. I mean, he scored the winner in the Conference League final. I think that would be enough on its own to justify his place in this list. 27 goals and 24 assists in the Premier League since signing for West Ham. It's not bad for 20-odd million, is it? Really good player, Jarrod Bowen. I think he's well deserving of his place in this list. When he first joined from Hull, there were some uncertainties, but he's definitely managed to put them to bed over the last few years. What a player, and definitely worth his place in this list. Next up, we've got Emi Martinez, who joined Aston Villa from Arsenal in the summer of 2020. He's taken Villa to the next level. When he signed for them, you know, they were that club that were actually kind of battling relegation, and this season, people are tipping them to push for the Champions League. 20 million he cost them. He's a World Cup winner. He's taken Villa to the Conference League as well, you can't forget. Absolutely worth the money. Great signing, and yeah, very, very good player. Next up, we have the first free transfer of the list, and it's another signing in the summer of 2020. It's Thiago Silva, who moved from PSG to Chelsea. I think it's worth saying that without Thiago, this Chelsea side would have fallen apart by now. He was a great pickup for the Blues under Frank Lampard, and Frank Lampard was the reason he went to Chelsea as well. So while a lot of Frank's signings haven't worked out, even all those academy players Frank Lampard brought through, a lot of them have now moved on. People like Tomori, Abraham, and Mount. Thiago Silva is one of those players that is still around the football club, and yeah, what a signing for free as well. Excellent servant for Chelsea, and well deserving of his place on this list. Next up, we've got a pure monetary decision. It's Rafinha. He was signed for Leeds in the summer of 2020. He was signed for 18 million, and 2 years later, he was sold to Barcelona for 58 million. He kept Leeds up for those 2 years and was one of their star men. We all saw what happened with Leeds when they lost both Phillips and Rafinha. Yeah, a key man for Leeds, and an excellent deal, and well deserving of his place on this list. We've got the final player in the summer of 2020 now, and it's Wesley Fofana to Leicester City. Wesley Fofana was brought for 35 million before being sold to Chelsea 2 years later for double that. He helped Leicester win the FA Cup as well as two European finishes. I want to say maybe it was only one. No, it would have been two. 2021 and then 21-22. And then he left us last summer. I think two. I should probably know that as a Leicester fan. I'm pretty sure he helped us to both. But yeah, he's been a key player for this side. Obviously, we all know the injury that Fofana suffered. But even still, before that injury, he was one of the best defenders in the league. And yeah, to make double your money in 2 years, you have to get on this list. Next up, we've got Moises Caicedo to Brighton. He was signed for Brighton in January 2021. This is a really obvious one. I mean, Caicedo was signed for Brighton for 5.5 million euros. Look at him now. He's transformed Brighton. They could get 20 times that? What's 20 times 5? I don't know. Maybe not 20 times. They could get like 120 million from him, which is crazy. Yeah, crazy signing. Well deserved for his place on this list. What a player for Brighton. And if he does move on, then there'll be at least 95 million profit there, which is stupid. Next up, we are moving into the summer of 2021 for the only player I've actually got down for the summer of 2021. There wasn't that many signings that have impressed me. The only one I have gone with is Martin Odegaard, who moved from Real Madrid to Arsenal. I think Odegaard was debatably Arsenal's best player last year, up there with Saka. He's just such a good player. He's just such a good player. Absolutely class. Well deserving of his place on this list. I know I'm saying that a lot, but all these players are. That's why they're here. Yes, I think he cost 35-40 million, but that's not much for Arsenal at all. They've spent that on Timber, who's a backup, and even I said that wasn't that much money. Yeah, crazy signing. Really transformed him to the next level. And yeah. Moving on into January 2022, and we've got two players for this window. The first one of these is Julian Alvarez, who signed for Man City for 20 million. And I mean, he was possibly the best understudy in the world last year. Look, he was second choice to Haaland, yes, but if City were to lose Haaland in the next year or two, which I don't think they will, but if they were, you've got Julian Alvarez there, who is an excellent striker and could easily take over that by himself and probably score still 25-30 goals. He won everything. He completed football last year, got the treble with City, obviously, won the World Cup with Argentina. What a year for Julian Alvarez. And yeah, for 20 million, what a pickup for Man City. And then the second one from this window, I was torn between two because I had to put a Newcastle representative in here. It's either going to be Kieran Trippier, who I thought was an excellent option, but I had to go for Bruno Guimaraes. He was the first top signing of Newcastle's new era under the Saudi Arabian ownership. He joined with a lot of hype and a big transfer fee of around 40 million, but he was definitely worth it. He's one of their best players, and he was probably the best player in the side last year. Yes, he joined for a lot of money, but he's taken that side to the next level, and yeah, what a player. Moving on into the summer of 2022 now, we've only got 4 players left on the list, which are summer 2022 ones, because I had a look at the January 2023 and I didn't feel, look, there were some good signings in there, but I feel like the players need a little bit longer before I can put them on this list. The first signing from summer 2022 is actually Boubacar Kamara. Now, I know there's a lot more to come from Kamara, and I know possibly based upon last season's performances, you wouldn't put him on this list. However, Villa managed to nab him from under the noses of clubs like Barcelona and some really top European sides who are after him. He was a free transfer, and I think he's an excellent player. I think this year he's going to show a lot more of what he's about, and yeah, he had to be on this list for me. Next up, we've got another defensive midfielder. It's actually João Paulinho, who joined Fulham for around 20 million last summer. Fulham whacked a reported 90 million asking price on Paulinho this summer, and while that may have been overpriced, it does show how much of an importance he is to this Fulham side. Again, another player who has really performed well last season. And I mean, yeah, if they would have got that 90 million, it would have been 4.5 times more than they spent on him, which is really good. 2 players left now, and you're going to know this next one. It's Erling Haaland. How couldn't he be here? He was signed for 60 million, but I think City would happily pay that for their first ever treble and their first ever Champions League title as well. Absolutely worth it. What a player. It's Erling Haaland. And then last but not least, I've actually gone for a Southampton player, Romeo Lavia. Now, Southampton are going to make a 40 million profit in a year on Romeo Lavia. They signed him for 10-15 million, I think, and they're looking like they're going to sell him for around 50 million this summer. People forget that Chelsea made a 50 million bid to Southampton in August last year. They could have made that 40 million profit in 2 months. Crazy signing to get Lavia for this cheap as well. What a play from Southampton. Had they brought some more experience last year, I do think they would have been okay. But Lavia is an excellent player and definitely will not be playing in the Championship this season. But yeah, there we go. That was some of the best signings of some of the best Premier League signings of the 2020. So what do you make to my picks? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. See ya.